The showdown is intensifying between the Justice Department and former President Trump's legal team. In a late Friday filing, both sides clashing over how to move forward with that special master review of those seized documents from Mar-a-Lago. From who the special master should be, right down to who should pay the bill for that person's time.
Now it's on a judge to decide. Let's get some legal expertise now with constitutional law attorney Page Pate. Page, good morning. Always appreciate you sharing your insight with us. A lot of disagreements between Team Trump and the DOJ. The fight over executive privilege, as Amber outlined, who's going to pay for it, when it's got to get done. What were your impressions of last night's filing?
Well, Boris, I'm not at all surprised that we see some disagreement here. Obviously, the government is still upset that there's a special master that was appointed to even begin with. Both sides, I think, have submitted qualified people to serve as a special master. The real disagreement is, what is this special master supposed to do? Is he going to be able to review everything like the Trump team wants? Or is his review going to be restricted to just potential attorney-client privilege material? Stay away from the classified material. It doesn't belong to Trump. Stay away from any claims of executive privilege. It's not Trump's to make. So what this special master will do, I think, will be the focus of the judge's continued analysis of how this process is going to work.
And they're also disagreeing over how long this process should take, right? So the DOJ wants the review to be finished by mid-October. Trump's team wants 90 days. What's the advantage of, having a longer time frame to play with?
Well, Amber, it depends on what the special master is going to do. I think the government would probably agree that if the special master is actually going to review everything like Trump wants, then it's going to take more time. But if that review is just limited to the potential attorney-client privilege documents, it only needs to take a few weeks. So I think the time issue will be decided by the judge's ruling on what the special master will actually do.
I've been curiously watching how the Trump team is approaching the description that they use to talk about these classified documents. At one point, they had put out there that Trump had a standing policy that everything he removed from the Oval Office was automatically declassified. In the filing yesterday, the Trump team says the Justice Department has wrongly assumed that documents are classified forever if they have classification markings. I'm wondering what your perspective on all of that is.
Well, Boris, that's a great point. I think the Trump team has been very careful not to make the legal argument in court that he declassified everything. I think that's such a ridiculous, frivolous argument. They're not going to make that in court. But they want to preserve the right, potentially, to argue later that, look, these aren't as classified as the government is saying that they are. And once they're marked classified doesn't mean they stay classified forever. So they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. They want to preserve this argument, but they don't want to come right out and try to make that argument because I think the judge would not accept it.
And no surprise, right? The DOJ appealing this decision. How do you see this playing out?
Well, I think the government has a very strong position that a special master, while certainly can review potential claims of attorney-client privilege, should not be able to review the classified documents. Clearly, those documents, if they're classified, never belong to Trump. There's no issue about that being some sort of attorney-client issue. Those weren't documents he sent to his lawyer. There weren't consultations about legal advice in there. So the Justice Department says, look, we can go along perhaps with the special master looking at the attorney-client privilege issue. Stay away from the classified documents. And I think they have a good position there because we don't have any precedent for that happening in another case.
And Paige, if we take a step back, we should also point out that the DOJ is appealing the special master decision. Is there a scenario in which you see that potentially getting overturned?
Yes, there is, or at least limited to what the Justice Department really wants, and that's to have the special master stay away from the classified material and also have the special master not engage in some sort of analysis of this executive privilege argument that the government doesn't even believe is possible. So the government has appealed the entire order, but is basically also asking the judge, while that appeal is pending, don't make us do everything you said you wanted us to do. We'll go ahead with the attorney-client privilege issue, basically the way we proposed, but we do not want to stop our analysis of these classified documents, and we don't want the special master looking at them.
All right, Page Pate, we're going to leave it there. Appreciate you. Thanks.
Thank you.
So New York